Our second speaker, Jiselle Hanna, is a secretary at the Community and Public Sector Union Victoria branch. She was elected in July this year on a platform of building and democratic fighting union that stand up for workers. Jiselle has been a union member for more than a decade, working across of justice and community safety sector before taking on leadership of the union. She has a long history of grassroots activism from anti-war and anti-racism campaigns to support workers struggling in Australia and across Asia Pacific. Please welcome with me, Jiselle.
Friends, comrades, sisters and brothers, we are rallying here today because the people of Gaza are facing devastation, facing genocide. It's been 2 years since Israel launched its genocidal campaign against the people of Gaza, masquerading as self-defense, masquerading as a plight of a forgotten people for their holy land. The truth is, the land that today we call Israel, or even what we call Palestine, that land is holy to lots and lots of people of different faiths and different languages. We could go down that path and focus on which peoples has a more righteous claim to those lands. But I'm not convinced that that's what this war is about. War is about imperialism. It's about fighting for scarce resources on a finite planet under an economic system seeking infinite growth. This is capitalism's desperate gasp for survival, and it turns once again to its oldest weapon, and that's war. History shows us that in times of crisis, the powerful will always sacrifice lives to preserve the system. But history also shows us something else, that the workers' movement has stood as a force against war and against fascism, against the destruction that flows from putting profit before people. From the strikes against conscription in World War I, to dock workers refusing to load ships for fascist regimes, to unions standing with anti-colonial struggles, workers have always had the power to resist. And here's the truth. The working class is the only force strong enough to defeat capitalism and its endless wars. We are the ones who build, who transport, who heal, who feed, who educate, who keep society running. But we're not the only ones who know that that's our power. The right wing know it too. I know that people are really frustrated that the unions have failed to take an active stand in this movement for a free Palestine and against the genocide. Workers are not inherently left-wing. They're not inherently collectivist. There is a genuine battle for the consciousness of workers, and you've seen right across the world, the ultra-right is also making their case to the workers' movement too. So the task in front of us is clear. We must convince workers that their future lies not with dictators, not with the generals, not with the charismatic leaders who maintain a system for the few and at the expense of the many. Our future lies with each other, with Palestinian workers, with workers across the globe, with every person who wants to live in dignity and peace. So how do we win? We win by fighting for a world that is safe and free for everyone. We win by linking the struggles because they're already linked. The struggle for Palestine is connected to the fight for climate justice, for refugee rights, for housing, for decent jobs, for the right to live without fear. Capitalism denies us all of this and it tries to keep us isolated in our struggles. But when we join them together, when we see the thread that ties them all, that is how we build real power. That's why the struggle for Palestine is the struggle for the world. Because when we demand freedom for Palestine, we're demanding an end to a system that fuels war, division, and exploitation everywhere. When we stand for internationalism, we're building the only alternative to endless war. Solidarity between workers, across borders, across identities, united against those who profit from our suffering. Comrades, our task is not simple, but it is urgent. We must organise, we must educate, we must win the hearts and minds of workers to the cause of Palestine and the cause of internationalism. Because only a workers' movement that knows its own power can bring an end to imperialism, to war, and the system that breeds war. Let's fight for a world where every person can live free, in dignity, with justice. Let's fight for Palestine, and through that fight, let's fight for the world. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea!